This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Prime. In association with Micromax. Nothing like anything.
You're watching Property It's Hot, your weekend window into the hottest trends that are defining the real estate industry. From great locations to landmark properties and also gorgeous home decor ideas. Let's take a look at what we bring you this week. How is Kopar Khairane in Navi Mumbai emerging as a residential hub? Century-old Dhobi Ghat is all set for redevelopment. How will it change Mumbai's realty landscape? And why are buyers in Bangalore moving away from plotted developments? Kopar Khairane, a node of Navi Mumbai, was built mostly on reclaimed land by City and Industrial Development Corporation or CIDCO, and has come a long way from its load-shedding days that had residents and office goers break into a sweat. The same Kopar Khairane today is being looked upon as a potential residential hub given the backdrop of its strong demand, price points and growth prospects. So how did it get this makeover, and will this residential real estate hotspot be able to sustain buyer interest? Ashish Bhatia reports.
Rapid saturation and escalating property prices have made Mumbai unaffordable to many, but its planned satellite township Navi Mumbai continues to drive buyer interest. Here, the micro-market of Kopar Khairane, which is just a 15-minute drive from Vashi railway station, has been crowned as one of the fastest growing residential real estate hotspots by property consultancy firm Jones Lang LaSalle.
Largely, I believe there are three things. One is that what's the kind of demand supply scenario. The second part is what's the kind of price appreciation that we have seen in the past and also that is likely to happen in the future. And the third point is the what is the quality of life that one can achieve in a particular area. Considering all these aspects, I think many places, including Kopar Khairane, were the hotspots that we have selected in our report.
The numbers show why Kopar Khairane could have been chosen as one of the most promising residential hotspots. For starters, the demand and supply, which is crucial indicative of the health of a market, shows that Kopar Khairane's absorption figures are not far behind its supply. From 2,200 units in the last 3 years, 2,150 units have been consumed, leaving availability of just 50 units. Stock price appreciation is another area where Kopar Khairane has scored big. It has seen a substantial 34.4% appreciation between first half of 2012 to second half of 2014.
Consoli is definitely cropping up. Kopar Khairane has its own benefit because of the closeness to Vashi. The demand-supply situation is such that Kopar Khairane does not hold much of supply. So that is the reason why possibly Kopar Khairane can be at least stable or have some appreciation.
Experts say the region's huge employment opportunities have resulted in higher demand for residential and commercial units. The Reliance Group's flagship company, Reliance Communication, has set up its headquarters on the Thane-Belapur road, which is just a stone's throw away, and so are the other corporate offices of other multinational companies. To cater to rising footfalls, developers here are offering a wide spectrum of units, from mid-segment to premium and super premium housing. If a sector 11 and 15 closer to Vashi are priced at par with units in Vashi, there are other sectors just 5 to 7 minutes further down which are catering to buyers looking for more competitive price advantages. Experts say while adjoining areas like Gansoli are fast gaining prominence, it poses no immediate threat in the medium to long term.
10 years back, what was there in Kopar Khairane, today if you go there, there is a sea change. It has come up very well. No load sheddings, no power cuts today. Absolutely zero power cut scenario is there. So I think it has really come up. Next to Vashi, people now look at Kopar Khairane.
Experts say Kopar Khairane has come a long way in terms of standard of living. From a time when the region was reeling under load shedding to low frequency of trains, Kopar Khairane today is buzzing with an improved social infrastructure, with good educational and healthcare institutions available here. Adding to this, various infrastructure advantages such as the proposed international airport in Navi Mumbai and key projects such as Kopar Khairane Vikhroli Link Bridge and Sion Panvel Expressway and the proposed metro line which will connect the eastern suburbs of Navi Mumbai.
We feel the prices will remain stagnant and development will be very good over there.
Experts say, as Kopar Khairane has demonstrated lesser volatility unlike other markets, it's a safe market for buyers looking to invest there with assured returns on the investment. From here on, experts say, with land getting scarce, population density on the rise, and neighbouring micro-markets like Ghansoli offering a discount in bargain, it's only going to get tougher for this hotspot to sustain its growth trajectory if it doesn't modify its portfolio and reinvent itself really soon. With camera person Vinayak Parkar in Navi Mumbai, Ashish Bhatia for NDTV.
Mumbai is all set to witness another mega redevelopment project with the slum dwellers of Dhobighat, the world's largest open-air laundromat, giving majority consent to redevelop slums spread over 7 acres of prime real estate. What's in store and how will it change Mumbai's skyline? Nikhil Narayan Shivdas gets you that story.
Dhobighat in Mahalakshmi is world famous as the world's largest open-air laundromat. But hidden behind the sights and sounds of thousands of clothes being laundered are the vast Dhobighat slums filled with over 8,000 people. Here, crumbling buildings and irregular supply of utilities have made life miserable for its inhabitants.
यहाँ पर बाथरूम का शौचालय का कुछ सुविधा नहीं है उस विषय पे और बारिश में भी हम लोग का पानी घर में आता है ये सब समस्या बचपन से मैं झेलते हुआ है.
Redevelopment of the Dhobighat slums has been a controversial topic, with developers over the past 10 years failing to get majority consent from the slum dwellers.
Dhobighat has been made famous thanks to its heritage position and its numerous appearances in films and movies. But it's this area, the Dhobighat drying grounds, which has gone largely unnoticed. Comprising for over 7 acres and consisting of over 1,500 families living cheek to cheek, this is an area crying out for redevelopment.
But now there may be hope for these slum dwellers again, with Omkar developers managing to obtain majority consent from 90% of the eligible slum population.
जो भी एग्रीमेंट में भर रहा हूँ अपनी खुशी से भर रहा हूँ और हमको ओमकार बिल्डर जो है अच्छा बिल्डर मिला हुआ है.
Redevelopment of the Dhobighat slums is expected to begin in a matter of months. Omkar plans to rehabilitate the slum dwellers in 20+ story buildings while keeping the sale component free for premium housing projects.
We are in the verge of that. We are starting the project. और 1500 लोगों में से मेरे हिसाब से 23 माले की हम लोग 5 या 6 बिल्डिंग बनाएंगे अभी उसमें और बाकी का सेल पोर्शन आएगा वहाँ पे. सेल पोर्शन डेफिनेटली जो साइट है बॉम्बे के अंदर वो सबसे प्राइम एरिया है. सामने रेस कोर्स व्यू है एंड समुद्र का पूरा व्यू मिलता है तो बहुत हाई एंड प्रोजेक्ट आएगा.
The area's proximity to the Arthur Road jail is expected to cause problems in deciding how high Omkar's development will go. But nevertheless, experts say the redevelopment will positively affect the Mahalakshmi real estate market, leading to an increase in rental housing as well as appreciation in prices in the area.
It's true that it's close to the jail premises, so there could be certain height restrictions and there could be certain limitations on which side you can have your openings, etc. But I think the plot size is good enough, large enough for the designers to tackle it. I think on one side you have the Mahalakshmi race course, so you would naturally like to take advantage of that and make all your openings on that side for good views. Maybe the rehab buildings can come up on the jail side. I think the problem may not be so grave that it cannot have a design solution.
While the property market is all abuzz, it is the residents here who truly have reason to cheer.
हम बहुत खुश हैं कि हमारा इतना बरस 13 बरस काम में हुआ वो ओमकार ने काम हमारा 6 महीने में किया तो हम बहुत खुश हैं कि लोग को जल्दी जल्दी घर मिलेगा ऐसा हमको भी खातिर हो गया हमारे लोग.
From Mumbai, Nikhil Narayan Shivdas, NDTV.
For Bangaloreans, investing in plots of land and living in villas used to be the most preferred option when it came to home buying. Today, owing to the onslaught of apartments and other modes of community living, this trend of owning individual plots and villas is changing. Lakshmi Shivadas finds out what's causing the change and the long-term housing trend that is emerging in the city.
A resident of Bangalore for over 30 years now, Sajita and her family have always wanted to own a plot of land with her villa on it. But what they finally settled for instead was an apartment.
You know, there's a lot of issues if you buy a plot. Cost is very high. We went about 10-15 kilometers away from the city level. Then you have an issue with all the kata and, you know, the ancestral property. And many people were there, owner of that one particular property, and it was very difficult to buy. But of course you have to go out of Bangalore like 30, 40, 50 kilometers away from Bangalore, then you may get it. But then again, the risk factor is high.
Home buyers across Bangalore seem to be in the same boat as Sajita. Soaring land prices in the city are a concern for them. In just the last 2 years, prices for individual plots in the city have risen from as low as 999 rupees per square feet to as high as 1,758 rupees per square feet in Bangalore East and West alone. The major micro markets where home buyers have the option of affordable plots are also further away from the city. It includes Hoskote, Jigni, Chikbalapur, Magadi and Bangalore. Experts say that this is just one reason why home buyers are preferring other housing options.
Bangalore has also evolved in the last 20 years. I mean, it has moved away from being the traditional retirement home to being the IT growth corridor. So from that standpoint, you see a lot more apartment buyers in the city, primarily because the cost associated with buying land is extremely high. Apartments, you can actually buy a 2-3 bedroom apartment in this sweet spot range of 60 to 80 lakhs. Whereas if you want to buy a plot of land, unless you want to go live 25 kilometers away from Bangalore and commute back and forth, it is not within anybody's reach. So apartments still, like I mentioned, 45,000 apartments are sold every year in Bangalore, of which only 15% are plotted developments.
It's not just individuals. Developers offering plotted developments too foresee a grim future when it comes to acquiring land for their projects.
The challenge, I think, is in terms of land, cost of the land, So to acquire land today at today's prices and then to provide the quality type of infrastructure that we provide and to be still able to provide a plot at an affordable cost is the challenge. For us so far, it's been primarily on land parcels that we've historically owned. For us the motive has been largely to unlock the land value. But going forward, I think the challenge would be to, one, in acquisition of larger land parcels definitely would be a challenge, and second, the cost at which this acquisition takes place would also be a challenge.
The major developers who are currently offering plotted developments include Maxworth Realty, Confident Group and Nirman Shelters. Inventory of unsold stock for plotted developments have risen from about 34,500 units in the first quarter of 2013 to 36,000 units in the first quarter of 2014, while absorption of the same has dipped from 7,500 units to 6,250 units in the same period. Experts say that while there isn't a dearth of plots or plotted developments in the city, apartments are going to be the clear front runner until the outer areas of Bengaluru are better connected to it. From Bengaluru, Lakshmi Shivdas for NDTV.
It's time for a break, but you stay tuned because there's lots more coming on the other side.